Hi, so I just finished reading the play, and something that I first found that was really interesting was the way that the characters communicated to each other, and how mostly they communicated through letters. They didn't really have much dialogue throughout the play, it was mostly just communication through writing. And another thing that I found interesting was the way that Elliot always looked up to his father, and the stories that Elliot's father would tell to him, and how he would just listen and really look up to him and what he would say. So, two values that I found in the play were appreciation and courage. I thought appreciation was being used when Elliot was really um, just listening to everybody and all the different stories that went about all the four characters, and how no matter what he just continued to keep a positive attitude and respect each and every of the characters throughout the play. And I thought courage was being represented mostly when Elliot started off being a little bit scared and frustrated to go to war, but then later ended up being um, one of the heroes that came back from the war, and how he was really on media everywhere, and everybody was really looking up to him. So I think that took a lot of courage on his part. Something I didn't really understand while reading this play, it was on page 14, and it said, "At night we strip down, everybody pulls the things off each other." Um, we see a lot of rock ape. In later research and finding this, I actually found it later in the book, was on page 29, and the rock ape actually means big, brown, and ugly. So this really helped me to understand the rest of the story, and helped me to comprehend really what Pop was trying to say. So for question number 4, I think the play shows soldiers as really before the war as really strong, powerful people who got into something that they really didn't know how it was going to affect them. And I think this really reaffirms it by showing how a lot of these soldiers came back with PTSD, which is a medical condition, which I also think was being represented when Elliot got to a really, really low point in the story and he put a gun to his commander's head. So for question number 5, fugue is a technique in which like two or more people communicate with each other. I think this relates to the play because I think it just reinforces the difference in the stories that everybody was telling between the characters. I think the greater intention of this play was to make people realize that people go to war not necessarily knowing the intentions that are going to come out of it, and come back um, really in ruins, and are truly probably broken from how they feel. So, two questions that I have for you guys. For my first question is, do you think there are any other medical conditions going on in Elliot other than PTSD? And if so, what are they and how are they affecting him? And for my second question, do you think if Elliot really would have shot his commander in the head, what repercussions would he have faced? Thank you.